this is continuing on in the series. If you are not caught up, Matt was diagnosed with a brain tumor. After he did an awake craniotomy, we found out it was a stage 3 oligodendroglioma, and the treatment plan for that is surgery, which we did, check. Then 30 treatments of radiation, which was Monday through Friday, check. Now we're on to the chemo portion. So we did a video before surgery, after surgery, right before radiation, and ideally this was supposed to be a video of after radiation and about to go into chemo, but he just finished his first round of chemo, first of 12. So how was radiation?
Probably somewhere about what they kind of told you it was going to be like. It wasn't that fun, but it wasn't like totally 110%, always just terrible. Sometimes you felt pretty good and sometimes you didn't.
Mm-hmm. What side effects did you have?
Being tired, and this may have been because of how, closer it was to surgery, but like random loud things that you didn't expect, like if you were out and somebody started squealing their wheels or whatever, it just would kind of make you really tense up and be very scared for just a minute. I don't know.
Jarring.
Yeah.
Being very noise sensitive.
Yeah.
Which could be the medicine that you were on too, because some of that started happening when you started the medicine before surgery.
Yeah. And it still happens some, but nowhere near to the extent that it was a couple months ago.
And they told you that radiation was like a gradual build.
Yeah, it was definitely a gradual build. The first couple of weeks, I was like, "Oh, this is easy. Nothing really to worry about." And then it definitely started getting you a little bit. Then after a couple of weeks,
you were very tired.
Yeah, very tired. Didn't sleep very well, and you did it every day, Monday through Friday, and it just, it was a lot.
Yeah, you started getting a little bit of hair loss right around the side of
which is why I have a hat on, so nobody can see the badness right there. And now we're 1 week into chemo, and it's 5 days on, 23 days off, and right now during the 5 days on that I had about a week ago, it wasn't too fun. Everything tasted terrible, really. I mean, there wasn't much of anything that I can remember and say, "Oh yeah, that's what we got to eat every time." No, there were things that just you would normally eat and be perfectly fine. This was just awful.
Yeah. A little tired.
Had a bad taste in my mouth. I'd say like metal or something in my mouth. I'm very tired. And just felt kind of yucky the entire time. Mm-hmm.
So during surgery, he had a grand mal seizure. He had another grand mal seizure that night while he was in the neuro ICU. So that meant 6 months not being able to drive. But
Monday, I can drive. It'll be 6 months since surgery on Monday, and that is the law here in the state of Alabama. After you have a grand mal seizure, you have to wait.
Anytime you lose consciousness.
Is that what it is? I'm going to lose consciousness. Which, well, I would say during surgery I didn't have consciousness, but either way, that's what the law is. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it was an awake craniotomy. So, so it's hard to say, because when you're in the middle of your first round of chemo, which is worse, chemo or radiation?
Right, unless we make some adjustments, which we're going to maybe make a few little adjustments. Please. We'll talk about it as we go on. But right now, chemo's way worse than radiation. The 5 days of chemo. Now that I'm a week out of it, I feel pretty good. The number one thing I would say about all of this is God's in control, and He has this for us, and He really... It just seems like he's guiding me through this and helping us both get through it. So.
The main number one thing that we didn't talk about was the results of radiation.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to talk about it or me?
Yeah, so, well, you can go more in depth in the medical side of it, but yeah,
Great news.
Great news on that. The tumor that they had said your first radiation after, or your first MRI after radiation was supposed to look kind of worse, be swollen, but it didn't. It looked fantastic. It looked a lot smaller, and we're very hopeful that the radiation keeps working on it now, even though we're done with it. I think it stays for a certain amount of time after working on it, and then the chemo comes in and hopefully knocks it out. That's what.
That's the prayer.
That's the prayer that we have, for sure.
It was, so the radiation kind of inflames the tissues, which is why the first MRI, and really they said 3 to 6 months out, your MRIs aren't going to give a great indication as to how well the radiation worked. So the fact that it didn't look worse, it actually had a significant decrease, is an amazing sign that his tumor is responding very well to treatment. And so they even, correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't talk to the radiologist, oncologist, but he said that if it even just stayed where it was, they would be happy.
Yeah, I did a Zoom call with him, and that was one of the questions I had is 6 months from now, will it look even better? And he said, I can't really answer that straightforward, but he said if it stays exactly where it is, he gave me 2 thumbs up. He said, that is fantastic. We'll praise from there.
The oligodendrogliomas are typically your more stable ones. It's not typically one that comes back, but the fact that some of it did light up with contrast before surgery showed that it was like a malignant thing. This MRI showed no signs of lighting up with contrast, which was huge praise. And the neurosurgeon who did the surgery had said he had gotten all of that part out. And his first MRI after surgery confirmed that he did get all of that part of the tumor that lit up with surgery out. So the fact that none of it has changed into anything that's taking that contrast, we are extremely encouraged. And just want to say thank you to everyone. Like, we've been getting messages not just from all over the state or even all over the country, but we've been getting messages from all over the world. And it means it's so encouraging to us.
Definitely, 100%. People that message us all the time saying, I'm from Turkey,
Bulgaria,
wherever,
my goodness,
saying that they're praying for us and all that, and that just, oh man, it just means the world. Thank you guys so much.
All right, we'll do another one, letting you know maybe about halfway through chemo.
Yeah, I'd say about halfway through chemo. We'll try to come up with a and we're going to start producing more furniture.
Yeah, we'll get back to furniture content.
Yeah, get back to furniture content.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.